cling wrap. You cling to yourself and not to anything else.
So we do two main doughs here. We do one that's fully all-purpose flour, which is a softer bite, and that's for our filled pastas. And then this one will be for a longer noodle, a fettuccine. So this is half and half semolina and all-purpose. So the semolina is a coarser grind. It's this yellow, it almost looks like cornmeal, and that gives you a much better density. A bigger bite when you chew the noodle.
So your grandmother was Italian?
Yep, my whole father's side came here from the Abruzzo region of Italy through Pier 21 in 1960.
Why'd they come here?
I mean, times were hard then, after the war and everything, and they just wanted a better life, so came here in search of that.
What's a food memory that you have walking into your grandmother's house, like smells?
She always put meat in her sauces. She did classic kind of spaghetti noodles, and then she would stew like chicken legs, turkey necks, and pieces of beef in the sauce, but strain them out afterward. So that was almost like a separate course. But then all the meat flavored the tomato sauce, so it gave it a much more depth of flavor.
What's the purpose of the well? Like, why wouldn't I just put this in a bowl and just like go to town like I am right now?
You could, but it's better to let it gently incorporate because the hydration is important. The eggs will start to slowly bring in flour, but if you throw it all together, it doesn't come together as nicely.
Okay.
And you want to slowly develop, like this is developing gluten, that's the whole purpose of this.
Yeah.
So as you knead it, you're developing all the gluten strains.
Plus it looks way cooler.
Yeah.
I started really loving food at a super young age. It was just me having to be helpful around the house because my folks were too busy, but I realized that it was a really creative outlet. So is this a way to know that someone is really bad at doing it? Because your surface is completely clean.
I mean, I've been wiping
all
a little bit.
sticky.
It'll start to pick it up as you keep going. And we always use these wood tables for pasta because they're organic, they're not sealed, so they can control moisture. If their dough's a little bit dry, it'll suck some moisture out of the wood and add it to it, and vice versa. We just keep these oiled with olive oil.
There's like the bounce test, right? Like it should,
right.
it should
So
bounce
you can
back.
see, and you'll see the fingerprint like squeeze back out of it because the gluten is developed in it.
What's the purpose of resting this? Because I know in the case of like, let's say pizza dough or bread, you're waiting for it to rise, but what are we waiting for here?
You need everything to kind of settle. So it just soaked all that in, and now the gluten's very tight. So you just need to let it rest, and then everything will kind of calm down. It's almost like resting a piece of meat after you cook it, a steak. All the juices are bouncing around, and if you cut it, it's just going to spill out. So you need to let everything reincorporate and just come together.
All right, is it gluten?
I think we're there.
She bouncy. We have a rested dough.
Yep.
It's nice and smooth. What are we making with this one?
So now we're gonna sheet it out and then make some fettuccine.
Okay.
The important part that a lot of people don't really think about doing is we fold it over multiple times and laminate it as if you would a pastry dough.
And what's that doing? Just making the structure better?
Exactly, yeah. Those
Keeping it together more?
Continue to develop the gluten and build more structure.
I'm in my element when I get to share flavors with my loved ones.
Fettuccine sauce now. And we use this wooden dowel to catch it as it's
Oh, it
cooking
looks so
down.
pretty. I think that we're, in a way, in a vulnerable place when we're eating, in the sense that I think it's like emotional and beautiful. Should we do this as a team?
Started there.
Am I catching anything or no?
Catch it on this side. Okay. Oops.
Oh, it's so pretty.
And then we just go into the well.
Gorgeous.
See that?
It's like Muppet hair. That's when we connect the most with the people we love, is over food and wine.
So here we do it in the double length, so we run a knife over the top and it cuts the noodles. So then we have two different strains. And then you can just put a little more flour on these guys. And really, you can go right around your hand if you want. Just put it in a nice circle.
Gorgeous. making carbonara, my absolute favorite.
Everybody who tries it loves it. We have people that come in weekly and this is the only thing that they get. Every single time they come in, they always get this.
So you're using some really nice pancetta.
So you want a lot of the fat to render out, but also have enough left over to give you a nice chew.
This seems like the right amount of cheese for me.
Go nuts with cheese. There's never too much in my opinion. So I'm gonna add this in here and stir it quite quickly as I put it in, or else the warm fat will start to cook the egg too much. You don't want to get it to scramble, so just mix it all nicely.
Beauty. And you just want me to toss? So the sauce is coating these noodles and looking pretty good, but you're adding pasta water, and sometimes I do too. Can you kind of explain the purpose of that?
Yeah, the pasta water is great because it has all of the starch from the pasta there, and sometimes we even make it on our own. We just add semolina to it, especially if you want to do a vegetarian dish and you don't want to use chicken stock, which has the natural gelatin. So it's a very useful tool.
Is the sauce looking like the texture?
Yeah, it looks
that you
really
want
good
it?
to me. We can plate it. So I usually just spin it around, slide it into the dish.
Gorge. I found myself gravitating towards taking photos of food in university. I would procrastinate writing papers and invite people over for dinner parties. I worked at the school newspaper and two of my editors said, why don't you start a cooking column? I ended up calling it Eat with Jessie. And then it kind of just rolled from there. The photos were very shitty in the beginning. Through time, I realized that I really loved cooking and that there was so much that I could pick up by just watching intently at people working in kitchens, because I always work front of house. Through working around really great chefs in great restaurants and the cumulative knowledge over the years, I think that I have a really good understanding of balance in food. People didn't understand what my job was. So they would see things on the internet. They would just want me to make a really beautiful photo, and they'd say, we have a food brand. We want to see a photo like you did of X restaurant, and they would say, can you make something with our dry pasta brand or our canned this brand? So I just started saying yes, and that was like 8 years ago. To me, cooking, at least savory cooking, is very, very intuitive. I can base my recipes on ratios and things, but I really feel like more of a savory cook, and it does come really intuitively to me. So I would get these brands to come to me, and I would just test and test and test and see when I was happy with it, if I would be happy if someone served that to me, and that's kind of how it went from there. I mean, I'm always eating cold food when I'm shooting food. This one still has a little bit of warmth to it, and this carbonara is so good. It's so salty, so rich. You can leave me here with this, thank you. When you told me that we were going to make burrata today, I got really confused. I thought burrata was something that was aged in that way, and then the center was all soft and soupy from the aging that happened there. But it's like you are wrapping this stracciatella with this mozzarella into a bowl.
Yeah, so it's filled.
It's cheese magic.
Yeah.
Last year at some point, I was walking through the aisles at Arthur's Urban Market, which is a small kind of boutique grocery store, for those who don't know. And I saw your sauce there.
We're really lucky that Arthur's and Pete's and a few other smaller local shops have approached us actually to get them. Like, people are asking for our product.
It was like the best jarred sauce that I'd ever had. You not only make the jarred sauces and the pastas, but you do some like already built lasagnas. What else is in there?
A variety of filled pastas, ravioli, tortellini, sometimes you have cannelloni, potato gnocchi. We're always trying to keep the freezer stocked with a lot of varieties.
When I want to show people that I really love them, I don't make them a salad, I make them pasta.
So this is a chicken cacciatore that we're gonna make. It means hunter style, cacciatore, so you'll see many different variations. Sometimes people will use rabbit, that's kind of a classic way to do it. We're gonna use chicken thighs. My nonna always made it, lots of peppers, onion, garlic, parsley. I like to add in olives and capers as well.
So you put all the time in with the sauce, then someone can just have these vegetables, throw them in, put some chicken in there, and your sauce has all the complexity, and this should be a little bit faster. Arrabbiata, a little bit spicier, more chilies, and then tomato basil. Sweet and fragrant. Delicious. And you're just leaving these as whole thighs, and when someone serves themselves, they can take one or two? Okay. Do you want me to start dumping these in?
Yeah.
Double pour.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm splashing. Whoops. Sorry, chef.
There you go. Oh, it's okay. We're always full of sauce and flour here.
Right before it's done is when you'd add your fresh herbs.
Yeah, if you can, just wait till the very end, and that way it'll be nice and bright.
I have learned new skills, discovered new things. Oh yeah, look at that bubbling. And shared meals with people, and that's my favorite thing to do. Let's eat. Thanks for watching Stoked on Food. Come visit Halifax.
Oh, that was good.
Chicken cacciatore. I'm gonna go get the nudes.
Boom. Cheers. Thanks, Jess.
Thank you for coming. Love y'all. It's been really wonderful to get to experience, sometimes for the first time and sometimes again, new flavors, new textures, new experiences with new people or with friends. My biggest joy is sharing food with people. There are chicken thighs in there, so it's like make sure you get some juice.
No, in the restaurant.
In the restaurant, okay, after.
Sitting down around a dinner table and sharing a meal, or introducing new flavors to people, suggesting new restaurants, and this has given me lots of ammo, lots of experiences, and lots of bites that I can share with the world. So I'm really excited about that.